Okay, think about the last time you met someone new, maybe in English. What was that like? Were you kind of scrambling for the right words? Or maybe that little voice popped up asking, did I just say something totally weird?
Oh, yeah. That's such a universal feeling, isn't it? Those first chats in English, they can really feel like high stakes performances.
Totally.
But here's the thing we keep finding, looking at communication studies and hearing from learners. The secret isn't about having perfect grammar or like flawless pronunciation.
Exactly. It's really about knowing how to make a genuine human connection, even if your English feels, well, a bit under construction still.
Mm-hmm.
So today, that's what we're diving deep into. We're going to unpack, the psychology behind those first impressions. We'll share some real stories from English learners who, honestly, turn their social lives around. And we'll give you a practical conversation toolkit.
Yeah, a toolkit that's less about being perfect and much more about actually connecting. Our mission, really, is to show you how these first conversations, they're not just obstacles, things to get over. They're actually doorways.
Doorways, I like that.
Yeah, doorways to friendships, maybe unexpected opportunities, and definitely a big boost in confidence.
So if you're maybe getting ready to move to an English-speaking country, or you just want to feel more confident in social situations, or maybe you're just curious, like, how do strangers actually become friends?
Mm-hmm.
Then this deep dive is really for you. We want to fundamentally shift how you think about meeting new people. Let's get into it.
Sounds good.
I have to kick off with a story that, for me, just perfectly captures why these first meetings are so important. Just last month, I was in Toronto, grabbing coffee, and I saw this woman. She was alone, staring so hard at her laptop screen. Looked totally frustrated.
The classic scene. Maybe a Wi-Fi problem or some tech nightmare.
That's exactly what I thought. So I went over and asked something like, looks like technology's having a rough one. And she looked up, and you could just see the relief. She said, actually, no, I'm from Brazil, and I'm practicing English conversations in my head. I have a job interview tomorrow, and I'm terrified of the small talk.
Oh, small talk.
Yeah.
Right, that seemingly simple thing, but often the most intimidating part, isn't it? For a lot of people, that's way more nerve-wracking than the actual, technical questions.
Completely. So I just sat down with her, and we spent maybe an hour just running through different scenarios, like first meeting stuff. By the end, she's laughing. She seemed relaxed, really confident.
That's great.
And yeah, she did get the job. But the bigger thing she told me later was that our little practice session made her realize something important. English conversations aren't tests you have to pass. They're more like bridges you build.
That's a fantastic way to put it. A bridge to build.
Yeah.
It really clicks. And it makes me think immediately of my own experience. When I first moved to the States, I landed with tons of academic English. Felt like I knew the dictionary.
Right.
But the minute someone tried to make just casual conversation, I just freeze up completely.
Okay, so talk about that freeze. For someone who maybe feels that same way, they have the book smarts, but freeze in real life, what was the toughest part? What was the hurdle in shifting from trying to sound perfect to just being, genuinely interested?
Well, the biggest shift, honestly, was stumbling upon our first key insight. And this is backed up by tons of behavioral research. It's simply this. Authenticity beats perfection. Every single time.
Authenticity beats perfection.
Yeah. Our brains, they're basically wired to pick up on sincerity. So that genuine connection, it's way more powerful than flawless grammar. When I stopped trying so hard to sound like a native speaker and just focused on being genuinely present, interested in the other person, the conversations just started to flow. It felt different.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And it really matches what we see with learners all the time. Let's try to feel the difference. Let's imagine a scene. We're at some community event, meeting for the first time. I'll start nice and warm.
Okay.
Hi there. I don't think we've met. I'm Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Daniel, and I am delighted to encounter you at this social gathering.
Okay, pause. You feel that. It sounds kind of strained, right?
Yeah.
Super formal, almost like reading a script.
Definitely stiff. Not really me.
Right. Now let's rewind. Same situation, but let's try it with a totally different vibe. Go again.
Hi there. I don't think we've met. I'm Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer. I'm Daniel. I have to admit, I don't know many people here yet. This seems like a really nice event, though. How did you hear about it?
See? Instantly different. That second time felt like a real human connection, starting. You showed a little vulnerability, which is powerful, just being honest about where you're at, saying you were new.
And then you asked a genuine question. It wasn't generic. It was specific to the situation. And it opened the door for me to actually respond naturally.
Exactly. That's where the magic starts, I think.
Yeah.
I stopped trying to perform perfect English and just started having a real conversation. Which brings us straight to the next big point about making that connection real.
Which is?
Curiosity is your conversation's superpower.
Yes, I love that.
Okay.
Curiosity is a superpower. Because when you're genuinely curious about someone, they can feel it.
Right.
And that curiosity is not just about being polite. It actually gives you natural things to say and ask.
Totally. It shifts the focus.
Right. It's like this secret weapon because the pressure shifts from you performing to you discovering something about them. And it just naturally pulls out stories and maybe shared interests without you feeling like you have to put on a show. Actually, let me tell you about my student, Ria. Her story is a perfect example of this curiosity principle in action.
Okay, Maria. Yeah, this sounds like something a lot of people could relate to, but tell me, what was she like before this assignment? What was her emotional state? And was there anything that really, surprised her about how it turned out?
Oh, before. Maria was this brilliant software engineer from Mexico, incredibly smart. But in English social settings, super shy. She'd go to company happy hours and literally just stand in the corner. She felt like she had nothing interesting to add, just invisible.
Wow, yeah, that's tough.
So I gave her this really simple task. I said, this week, stop worrying about what to say. Instead, just focus on what you want to learn about other people.
Interesting. Just shift the focus entirely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the next week, she came back just glowing, completely different person.
So what happened? What was the outcome?
She discovered that her American colleagues were actually fascinated by her background. They wanted to know about Mexico. So just by asking them about their weekends, their hobbies, and then sharing little bits about Mexican traditions or her own life, suddenly she was the person everyone wanted to chat with.
That's fantastic.
And her English wasn't suddenly perfect, right? But it didn't matter. Her genuine curiosity made the conversations totally engaging for everyone.
That's such a powerful illustration. It really shows how shifting your focus from how am I sounding to what can I find out just changes everything. Okay, let's try this out. Another role play. You be the curious learner this time. I'll be someone you approach, maybe browsing.
Okay, sounds good. Let's say we're in a bookstore, approaching. Excuse me, sorry to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice you're reading that book. I've actually been thinking about picking it up. What do you think of it so far?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's fascinating, actually. It's all about habit formation. Are you interested in psychology, too?
I am, actually. Funny you should ask. I'm trying to build better study habits right now, specifically for learning English. Do you happen to have any other book recommendations? Maybe for self-improvement generally.
Lighting up. Oh, wow, you're learning English. Hey, your English sounds great. And yeah, I actually love productivity books. Have you heard of Atomic Habits?
Okay, stop there. See how easy that felt? My curiosity about the book, it just naturally led to sharing my own goal, asking for advice, and boom, instant connection. We went from strangers looking at books to having a real meaningful exchange. That could easily lead somewhere.
Definitely. And it flows right into our third insight, something we see again and again. Share your learning journey openly.
Ah, yes. Don't hide it.
Exactly. When you just casually mention you're learning English, most people, honestly, they instantly become more patient, often more helpful, and frankly, more interested in your story.
It's true. There's something kind of magnetic, I think, about people who are actively growing and learning something new. It's inspiring, maybe. And it definitely creates natural things to talk about. But, okay. What happens when you hit a snag? Like, you genuinely don't understand something in that first conversation. That's a big fear for people.
Oh, absolutely crucial. That used to be my panic moment. Missing words, not getting a cultural reference, I'd just shut down. But what I learned, and what research actually backs up, is that confusion, if you handle it gracefully, it can actually deepen the connection. It's a chance for, believe it or not, intimacy.
Okay, intimacy from confusion. Let's unpack that. Show me how. Let's do another role play. This time, you miss some slang I use, or maybe a cultural reference. We'll just talk naturally, use some American expressions.
Okay, hit me with it.
So yeah, my boss gave me that project, and I was totally swamped, just buried. But somehow, I managed to pull it off. Sometimes you just got to wing it, you know?
Okay, I think I caught most of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not familiar with wing it. I'm still learning some of these expressions. What does wing it mean?
Right. Wing it just means to do something without much preparation. Like you just improvise as you go. Hey, I love that you asked. Seriously. I probably use idioms like that all the time without even thinking.
See? Right there. What just happened? Instead of pretending I understood or feeling embarrassed, I just admitted honestly that I didn't know the phrase.
And my reaction wasn't annoyance. It was warmth.
Exactly. You appreciated the honesty. And for a second, you naturally stepped into the role of a temporary teacher or helper. That immediately signals trust. It doesn't show weakness. It shows you trust the other person enough to ask.
Which builds connection.
Precisely. And that demonstrates our fourth key insight. Vulnerability creates intimacy. When you admit you're learning, or you just ask for clarification, you're showing trust. And that trust makes people want to help you connect with you, often on a deeper level.
It makes so much sense. So when we're talking about being authentic, being curious, even being a little vulnerable, we're not just talking about having slightly smoother conversations, are we?
Not at all.
We're talking about unlocking the very foundation of human connection. Because every single significant relationship you have, friendships, romantic partners, professional collaborations. They all start exactly here.
Right. They start with two strangers meeting for the first time. So your English learning journey, it's not just about mastering verb tenses or vocabulary lists. It's really about opening doors. Opening doors to relationships that can genuinely change your life.
Speaking of vocabulary, maybe we should quickly define some of the key terms we've been using, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Good idea. Let's clarify a few concepts that are really central to these first conversations.
Okay, first up, we've said a lot, authenticity. What does that really mean in this context?
Simply put, it means being genuine, being real, not trying to put on an act or be someone you're not. Research consistently shows authentic people just come across as more likable, more trustworthy. So yeah, just be yourself.
Easier said than done sometimes, but crucial. Okay, next, small talk. We mentioned the woman from Toronto fearing this.
Right. Small talk is that light, casual chat about pretty neutral topics, things like the weather, maybe current events, what's happening right around you. Think of it as a social bridge. It warms things up, gets people comfortable before you maybe dive into deeper stuff.
Okay, and to build that bridge, you first need to break the ice.
Exactly. Breaking the ice is just starting that conversation with someone new. It's usually that first comment or question, like breaking through a thin layer of ice on water to get things flowing underneath.
Nice analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, once the ice is broken, what are we looking for?
You're looking for common ground, shared interests, maybe shared experiences, even shared opinions about something. Finding common ground helps people connect. It's like discovering you both speak the same emotional language, even if your backgrounds are different. It's where you find those sparks of connection.
Got it. And finally, something a bit more subtle, social cues.
Yes, very important. These are mostly nonverbal signals, things like body language, tone of voice, facial expressions. They tell you how someone might be feeling, or if they seem interested in continuing the conversation, or maybe ready to wrap up. Learning to read these cues is key to navigating conversations smoothly, naturally.
Makes sense. So authenticity, small talk, breaking the ice, common ground, social cues, all tools for connection.
Exactly. And remember, the big takeaway through all of this, great conversations aren't really about perfect English. They're about genuine human connection.
All right, so we've laid out the ideas, the psychology, the stories, but now it's time for you, the listener, to actually put this into practice.
Yes. So here is your confidence challenge for this week. We want you to initiate just one conversation with a stranger.
Just one. Totally doable.
Yeah, it could be anywhere. At a coffee shop, maybe the grocery store checkout, at the gym. Even online works too. Just use that curiosity as your guide. And remember, your authenticity is your strength.
And please, don't get hung up on trying to be perfect. Remember Maria's story. People are drawn to genuine interest, maybe even a little vulnerability. They're not grading your grammar. The goal here is connection, pure and simple, not linguistic perfection.
And to help you out with this challenge, we've put together something for you. You can download our first meeting conversation starter kit. Just check the description or show notes.
What's in the kit?
It's got 25 really natural conversation openers, some common ways people might respond, and importantly, some graceful ways to handle those moments if you don't understand something.
That sounds super useful. Okay, once you take the challenge, we want to hear about it. Leave us a comment. Tell us how your conversation went. What did you discover about someone new? Did someone surprise you with kindness, maybe, when you mentioned you were learning English? Share your story.
Yeah, we'd love to read those. And hey, if this deep dive today has maybe shifted how you think about meeting new people, maybe moved it from feeling like anxiety to feeling more like an adventure, then please hit that subscribe button.
We're here every week, breaking down practical English skills. Skills not just for language ability, but really for building confidence in life.
So thinking bigger picture, what does all this really mean for you? Just remember, every single person you meet, they hold stories, they have wisdom, different perspectives that can seriously enrich your life.
Yeah. And your English learning journey, it's giving you the tools, the keys really, to access this incredible human library that's all around you.
Exactly. Your conversations don't have to be perfect. They just need to be genuine. Remember, every hello could be a new beginning. Every question you ask is like opening a door to discovery.
So our message is, go out there, be curious, be authentic, and just remember that the world is absolutely full of friends you just haven't met yet.
Well said. Until next time, keep connecting, keep growing, and keep taking that leap with your English into meaningful relationships.